Dear Pixie, you asked us. Magenta, you, or the 9, talk about dimensions and planets, etc. And all that is quite interesting. But I'm a bit concerned when people calling themselves channels or mediums start to teach things about politics, medicine, history, nutrition, and other subjects that are surely best left for the experts like scientists and doctors. Philosophy is one thing, but when people like you try to claim theories from spirit as fact, then can this actually not be misleading and potentially dangerous? You are correct in all you say. The issue here is not whether a non-physical spirit entity or collective consciousness should be imparting information of this type, but whether the connection itself is clear, accurate, and of the lowest possible distortion. All the subjects you mention, that of politics, medicine, history, and nutrition, have been hijacked upon your planet. False information has already been given to your peoples on a grand scale, and many by the individuals you refer to as the experts, like scientists and doctors. There have been and are still truthful, genuine, and honest scientists and doctors. But so too have there been and are still deliberate false-speaking scientists and doctors also. The beings of higher light, angelic intelligences, collective consciousness structures, and extraterrestrial teams are with you, if you will, to present to you and deliver to you the truth of your reality that you have not been told. It is time now for you to receive this truth as the light shines upon all that has been hidden from you for millennia. You are able to receive this information and knowledge directly as you tap into the light streams and new rainbow plasma formations within the crystalline DNA memory system that is your new light body or fifth dimensional Merkaba. However, for those of you that are not able to access these memory light systems yourselves at this time, then the higher light structures assist you with this activation by presenting memory triggers to you. These memory triggers come to you in the form of truthful and accurate information so that you may resonate with this truth, or not resonate as the case may be, and find these truths yourself. Yet there are those not ready yet to teach these subject matters you speak of, and they are still in the training phase, if you will. They feel the urgency of spreading the message, as that urgency always comes with all connection with truth as part of the overall epiphanies experienced when the individual knows that they have been misled and misinformed. This urgency pushes these light teachers in training into teaching and speaking before they are fully ready. And when this occurs, mistakes are made, if you will, not within the personal confines of their own private path, but in front of an audience of potentially millions. This in itself is a teaching. But when these mistakes are made this way, then yes, this can be misleading and potentially dangerous, as you say. So are there too those who have not made any higher connection yet. But they see this kind of philosophical teaching, as you so put it, as a way to make for themselves a financial income. And so they recycle the teaching of others and invent new paradigms that are based purely on ego aspect, third dimensional thinking, with no inspired crystalline memory structure within. So too are there those who deliberately falsify information in order to mislead and prevent the mass awakening of humanity. Due to this eclectic mix of these so-called teachers of information, or channels or mediums delivering these often conflicting thought paradigms and teaching structures, then we say practiced and trusted discernment skills are your most valuable tools during these times of global awakening and mass disclosure. What we are saying here is that it is for the individual to take up their own power and discover what resonates with them. Knowing what resonates with you is the way to truth in all things. We repeat, knowing what resonates with you is the way to truth in all things. No other individual, teacher, doctor, scientist, channel, or extraterrestrial being can tell you what is true. Only you know truth, and you know this through your own resonance. If you follow, for example, 3 different teachers, all saying different things, then sitting in a place of confusion and not knowing who to believe or who to listen to is a cosmic trigger, if you will, or higher guidance for you, that it is time to look at your inner resonance. This is like a truth meter within that literally sings or zings when presented with truth. It is like the inner voice sings to you the words yes, 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 truth, truth, truth. It is this that is your North Star, your true north, presented through the golden compass that is your most valuable and useful tool. This inner resonance can be marred by unresolved traumatic experience, or buried under religious or scientific dogma, or hidden by an overload of environmental or inner toxins coming in through the places you frequent, the people you associate with, and the foods you eat and drink. When you begin to awaken, you will simultaneously begin to clean up your act, if you will, and literally become clear. This shall allow the inner resonance that is the true you to come forward. It is your knowing, your mother's intuition, if you will, your gut feeling. This one is to trust, for it shall not ever lead you astray. For many, it is more than a feeling or a knowing. It manifests as a fully realized and individualized being or team of beings that then delivers to you complicated information that you could not possibly have known before your connection with this source. Your intuition or gut feeling is a bridge to this higher source, which is simply a higher or more expanded form of memory recall, which comes with the awakening process. If you feel, however, that only scientists, doctors, and other experts are to be trusted with this information, then it would be right for you at this stage in your incarnation to dismiss that which you hear from other sources. However, those other sources are needed, for there are those amongst you who do wish to hear from sources of these kinds. There are those that dismiss the so-called experts and look to the mediums and the channels and the spirit beings they communicate with as the masters of knowledge. Each of you are different, and each of you are able to merge together as a collective consciousness unit in your own right and put out a call or signal or energy beam for that which you want, need, or desire. When that call reaches critical mass, then it is always, always responded to. For this is the law of magnetic attraction. There were a great many who put out the call for the knowing of truth upon your planet, in all areas and all subject matter and all walks of life. That call reached critical mass and has been responded to in many ways. Some of these ways are through the ancient cosmic language of symbol and present through that which you know as crop circles. Some came as actual visitation from other planetary beings, or through the telling of the personal story from those who were visited or experienced the displacement that you know as abduction. Some of these responses came through out-of-body travel and dreamtime work. Some came through extensive research, as the explorers amongst you uncovered truth after truth, and with this came the realizations that the truth was there in plain sight all along. Some came from the controllers of the service to self polarity, who follow certain protocols, one of which is to always let you know what they are doing so that they may decree that they are exempt from repercussions, if you will. Their decrees are not always correct, but that is a subject well beyond the core matters within this transmission. Then there were the responses to your critical mass call that came directly through the higher intelligences within your universe and within the greater multiverse at large. Or shall we say, within the microcosmic universe and infinite multiverses that exist within your DNA. And these are the intelligent and loving beings that communicate through the prophets and messengers that you call channels and mediums of your today now moment. These channels and mediums, who work with higher light quotient, high alignment and low distortion, are part of the answering of your very own call for truth and mass disclosure of that truth on a global scale. You cry out for disclosure, yet disclosure is all around you. It passes in front of your eyes every single day, several times. Many of you simply do not see this, for it is invisible to you. It does not register upon your scale of importance. For others, you see it, but do not recognize it for what it is. Yet there are those, the truth warriors, the light workers, the ones who carry the torch for truth within their very veins. Not only do they see this disclosure, recognize this disclosure, and know exactly what it is, but they also pass it on. They take an active role within the delivery of this global truth and global disclosure. As the domino effect really kicks in, you will see this disclosure raise up in pockets or flares in alignment with the cosmic cycles of the precession of the equinoxes, the movement of the white wheel, and the astrological and astronomical signs. You move with the energy and feel its highs and lows. You flow energetically with the sine wave that is creation. You now enter into another high energy moment or energy spike that brings with it yet more high level disclosure of truth. Rainbow plasma moves into high density within your DNA fields as yet another activation or series of mini stargates are passed through, coinciding with solar activity. Many of you will have been through a lull or hiatus or rest period, followed by a spike in energy intensity and a raise in momentum and creativity. The sine wave of this energy ride is becoming most evident now for so many of you. Your next big Stargate moment is the December solstice. Yet there is much that shall happen along the way as you ride these rainbow waves that are indeed the truth waves of disclosure, opening the eyes of all the sleepers along the way. Stand strong with your inner resonance, and you shall not only be the receiver of the rainbow plasma truth disclosure codes, but the bearer and the deliverer of them. We are the white-winged collective consciousness of 9.
In this transmission from the white-winged collective consciousness of 9, I, Magenta Pixie, bring forward information specific to utilising the rose gold flame as antidote to 5G, EMFs, chemicals, chemtrails, and similar. The presented template utilises the Schumann resonance, and the technique is alchemical unification. In this book, the 9 discuss synchronicity, discernment skills, and understanding of discordance and disharmony within truth and lightworker communities. They present a workable model of expression, assisting the spiritual explorer in creating a necessary toolkit. This allows the individual to construct a shield, bringing safety, harmony, expansion, and cohesive sovereignty into their own personal reality and their matrix field. I am pleased to present my new short book, The Black Box Program and the Rose Gold Flame as Antidote.